Hey guys, what's going on? Nate Jackson here, off-field Guerrilla Sports. Trusted American. Ever heard of Trusted American? Trusted American salary-based mortgage consultants want to help you get into a better interest rate and lower your monthly payments. Go to trustedamerica.com to find out how much they can save you today.
Hello and welcome in.
Please do not leave your luggage unattended on the station.
Welcome to the show.
That's right. Welcome to the show. The show you're watching, Off-Field. I'm Liv Moods. No, I'm not. I'm Nate Jackson. Liv is in New Orleans, the side of the Super Bowl. So is Brandon Cristal. He's in New Orleans, the side of the Super Bowl. We got great representation there today. So you just got me. You got me. Good old Nathan Jackson sitting here in the Guerrilla Studios. We are going to be joined by Brandon Cristal in a couple moments from New Orleans, from Radio Row, which is a whole circus, a whole thing unto itself. And we're going to ask Brandon about that thing. Maybe we'll be able to see a little bit of that thing from the background. But until he jumps on with us, you just got me. And we're going to go over some Broncos stuff because thankfully for us, our head coach, Sean Peyton, has a lot of connections in New Orleans. In fact, he coached there for 17 years or 16 years. But he's the man about town, and he is there right now, kind of yucking it up. Like this is, he's just walking around and doing interviews and, soaking it up and talking ball and paying for the Kansas City Chiefs receivers dinner tab. That's true. He sat down with Kay Adams, formerly of NFL Network and doing a show for FanDuel. And it's a rather long clip. We're going to kind of cut it and talk about it. But here is Sean Peyton talking with Kay Adams just yesterday.
I do want to ask you, you're talking about the youth of the team. There's some really interesting. You fell in love with your quarterback, you got him. Now we got the draft.
We felt like we had a good rookie class.
The culture, everything that you've done in such short time, right?
Yeah.
But now it's like, now I want you to, I love Cortland, great veteran, insane, amazing. I know you love him too. What are we looking to fall in love with?
What's Sean sipping on right there? That's what I want to know, though. And a little tasty beverage there. Looked like a long, skinny can there, wetting the whistle a little bit. Keep in mind now, when you watch Sean Payton talk with Kay Adams, you see that twinkle in his eye? He doesn't have that twinkle in his eye when he's here with the local media. Why, Sean? Why only the national media? Why only Kay Adams? All right, Andy, roll that thing.
I do want to ask you, you're talking about the youth of the team. There's some really interesting. You fell in love with your quarterback, you got him. Now we got the draft.
We felt like we had a good rookie class.
The culture, everything that you've done in such short time, right?
Yeah.
But now it's like, now I want you to, I love Cortland, great veteran, insane, amazing. I know you love him too. What are we looking to fall in love with here in the next couple of months? Are we going? Can I tell you what I think?
It's a fair question though, because we do the evaluation of our team.
Yeah.
And the purpose of that is then to establish what we call musts, needs, and wants.
Must, needs, wants. Okay.
So who are our musts?
Your must, you need a veteran wide receiver. That's what I think. I'd like to see you.
I would say we need a joker.
You need a Reggie Bush.
An interior, and a joker now can be a tight end or a running back that has exceptional. We were spoiled here.
Yeah.
When you think about it, all right, you had Reggie, you had Jimmy Graham, Jeremy Shockey, Darren Sproles, Alvin Kamara. Those are interior, either tight ends or running backs.
Jokers.
That they have to be elite receivers that play tight end or running back. And then you get the matchups, and we had quite a few of them here because you're getting too high defense and you have to work the inside. And so I think,
where does a veteran wide receiver go in which bucket?
I think a veteran wide receiver fits in a need,
Not
and
a
yet,
must-have.
man, I would say we're stronger there than some would think.
Okay.
A Devon Bailey, Troy Franklin. There's a number of receivers that we drafted a year ago. We'll look closely through the middle, inside linebacker, safety. There'll be a few other positions, but
So you're looking to fall in love with an inside guy. I thought you might want the Reggie Bush to sort of be the rug that ties the room together as well.
I'm all about that.
You're interested maybe in the draft?
Maybe.
That's sort of what I'm thinking, I'm hoping.
Because you have to also, in this equation, you have to say, all right, what's the draft look like? And then what's free agency look like? And try to figure out the puzzle as to where we find these pieces.
I think the control room has it. I want to show them the Mims play. I want to show you my favorite play call of the year. Are you ready?
Yeah.
It's week 18, Kansas City. Can we see it, please? It is the first, you dial up this, I brought this up to Mims. He, I tried to credit him for the acting job. He gave you all the credit. Talk me through this insane script.
Yeah, so I would say one player that we saw grow exponentially this year would be Marvin Mims. We saw him as a great returner a year ago, a Pro Bowl returner, and there was a series of games this year where this player as a receiver just got better and better and better. And so it's an early drive starter, a little play action. There's some yah-yah with this play, right? I mean, we're in the perfect city for this play. And and he's one of those elite players with the ball in his hands. So if he's an elite returner, let's create a return on offense.
I love it. And if you gave me like one or two sentences on what you think about the narrative that Patrick gets all the calls.
I don't think that's a narrative we're frustrated with. The narrative our league's frustrated with has the officiating kept up with the pace of play?
It's a great point.
In other words, man, this game's faster. It's quicker. It's difficult to officiate. And so I don't subscribe to that at all. I think they've earned everything they've gotten.
The officiating. Yeah, that's right. There was Sean Peyton waxing poetic on a variety of issues. And I thought, who better to come on in and give us his opinion about football matters but our very own Chiefs fan, Scott Schaefer. How are you?
Hold the applause. Hold the applause.
Hey.
Chiefs fan in Denver.
So, Scott, I don't know if you were listening to that clip because you were arriving a little bit late for your own show.
My own show.
This is your show, man.
Is this my show because of the Chiefs weekend?
That's right.
Okay.
That's right. Now, I want to start with, because Sean Payne was talking about a lot of Broncos stuff.
Yeah.
Right? You don't care about that. You care about the Chiefs things
Yeah,
he
because they're
mentioned.
playing.
And Sean Payton addressed the referee controversy, right?
Controversy.
Why do you laugh?
I laugh because I think actually Travis Kelce kind of said it perfectly in one of his interviews one of his mini interviews at New Orleans, where people asked, like the media asked, like, why do you think there is such a narrative about the refs helping the Chiefs?
Yeah.
And he said, I don't know. I think it's more for like Twitter and stuff like that. But my question is, why do you guys, the media, still kind of perpetrate this as an actual conspiracy theory? And so,
and you don't see any sort of bias towards the Chiefs by the refs over the last several years.
I see a bias towards maybe Mahomes as a quarterback and kind of the face of the league. I can give you that one. I still don't categorize it as being a conspiracy theory, though. That one's a little bit hard for me to wrap my head around. And I think it is you too, because you're a former player and you'd like to believe. I don't think
there's a league-wide mandate.
Yeah.
I don't think there's like a meeting and they're like, talking to the refs about what.
I think it's hard to separate from the referees who Travis Kelce is, who Patrick Mahomes is. They protect the quarterback so much, and we just happen to have.
But don't they protect some quarterbacks more than others?
Probably, yeah. I would think so. I don't think Danny Dimes, Daniel Jones is getting the same amount of calls.
Well, Lamar Jackson doesn't get protected like that.
Well, he's kind of like putting himself out there as a runner, though, most of the time, isn't he? So he's kind of like a different animal.
Wasn't Patrick Mahomes kind of like faking like he's putting himself out there than running, and he's falling down last minute and given the moment to get the flag?
I mean, I've seen that once or twice. I think people have seen it once, and now they say
the flop on the sideline.
That was bad. I saw that in the bar, and I was like, oh god.
Well, what about the one where he's waiting for the two guys to like get close to him, and then he does the fake slide, and then he gets hit, and they hit each other actually, and then he gets the penalty.
Yeah, that one looked super violent, and I thought, it's Chris Paul. It's a gamesmanship for sure. But that one, in real time, looked just violent, and then realized it was just two guys knocking heads together. But I mean, he made a last-second decision to save his life, so I don't mind it. Yeah. I don't think he was doing it specifically to get those guys
No, of course he was goading them into it. Then he slides last minute because he wasn't trying to pick up extra yards, Scott.
Yeah.
What he was doing is waiting till they got close to him
I think
and then doing a fake slide.
I don't think it was a fake slide. I think it was
You've
one of those
never
things.
seen Patrick Mahomes do the fake slide and then run further?
They did it last year. I saw it one year
Okay, so
where he
there's
did
some
it.
incidences.
No, what he did was they out of bounds. That's what he did.
There's some incidences now stacking up, Scott, that create once is a whatever, twice is a once is a coincidence, twice is a
I always forget this.
third is a fool me not, shame on you.
Yeah,
What is it?
fool me once, shame
You
on
ain't
me.
gonna fool me again.
Fool me twice. But I don't think he's fooling anybody. I just think it was just one of those
fooling
moments.
the refs.
I mean, get smarter. You know, one of the refs for the Super Bowl is from Kansas. He's from a town nearby, Caldwell, Kansas, where I grew up.
Another check,
conspiracy
yeah.
theory.
Well, what about that ref that last week when they won, or 2 weeks ago when they won?
Is that Cleat?
Yeah, they're 7-0 with him.
But also the guy who did we play? We played the Bills.
Yeah.
Josh Allen was 6-2 with that guy. And Patrick Mahomes was 5-4 with that guy.
You make a good point.
Thank you very much. Yeah.
All right. So what about from that game? All the spots that were short, that were clearly, or at least the naked eye would say these were over the line, and the refs continuously spotted them short of the line to get.
I don't think that's a conspiracy theory. I think that's a referee issue because one guy said it was a first down. I thought it was a first down.
Multiple.
Right. And when I saw it, I was like, he got it. That was just one of those things. But then. That's not a Chiefs issue. That's not a conspiracy. That's just two refs not being on the same page. So they need to get kind of on the same page about that.
Yeah.
I don't know who had the right angle. They came from both sides. I have no idea sincerely who had the right idea in that.
Probably the guy who was closest who gave him the first down.
Well,
he had the better
who gets to override that, I guess? Who makes that decision? I guess did they go to New York for that, or they just call it? They probably went to New York.
See, this waffling's really good. What you're doing now? It's
I'm trying to be a
responsible?
rational sports fan because I'm not mad. My team's in the Super Bowl again, so I'm good with it.
And I want to ask you about the feeling of that, but a couple more things with the referees.
Yeah,
what Sean Peyton was saying there, and what you didn't hear him saying, was that he doesn't buy into the conspiracy towards the Chiefs thing.
Sure.
What he's concerned about is the quality of the referee and keeping pace with the game itself now, because the game happens a lot faster.
Sure.
Players are moving faster. Things are happening at a different pace than they used to, and it seems as if perhaps the refs aren't able to keep up with that.
Sure.
I think that's a good answer.
I think it's super valid. How can it not be? I mean, those are. I'm not trying to be an ageist over here, okay? But those are some old dudes trying to keep up with some of the best athletes in the world. And also, I think there's a little bit of pressure on them knowing that. Yeah, they don't have to answer questions after a game, but they get reviewed. They get penalized by their own kind of organization and union. So, I mean, maybe it's just like game's too fast, they're too old, and also I have to make the right call, and then it kind of just takes the human aspect out of it.
What about the if you review a play and it goes to New York, like the Xavier Worthy catch that they called a catch after hitting the ground clearly? What were your thoughts on that play?
I thought. At first, I thought it was an interception, just in real time.
Yeah.
But then I don't know the rule because the guy only had one arm. But
if they're both grabbing it, it goes to the receiver.
Is that like the tie goes to the runner thing?
Yeah.
Or is that actual rule?
Yeah. No, that's how they kind of call it.
Yeah. But also, I didn't even think he caught it at first, and then they were kind of. I was hoping that
did the ball hit the ground?
I don't think so.
You don't.
I don't think so.
It definitely hit the ground.
Did it?
Oh yeah. The question is, was the ball
5 gin and tonics?
You're like closing one eye, seeing 3 balls.
A little bit.
How many gin and tonics in at that point?
Well, technically 6 because they're doubles. So 3.
Okay.
In one glass.
Do you ever just go to a bar where they're like, you don't have to say double? Does the guy just knows what to do?
Oh yeah, absolutely. I may be a Chiefs fan, but one of my favorite bars here is Chiba Hut, and that's a damn sandwich place. Okay. But they know me. Double gin and tonic, double tall.
Your favorite bar is Chiba Hut.
I love a good sandwich, okay? But also they have a bar. If you have a bar, I'm going in there. Yeah. I don't care. I bet your house has a bar. I'd love to make Nate Jackson's house my favorite bar.
You can make my house your own personal Chiba Hut.
That's right.
All right. Oh, okay. One more conspiracy sort of Chiefs bias question about the game against the Bills.
Okay.
The last play of the game, Josh Allen throws that one up on 4th down.
Mm-hmm.
It's incomplete.
Yeah.
However, there was a flag that was thrown that was picked up.
Mm-hmm.
and the conspiracy theorists are saying that that was a provisional flag thrown by the refs in case they picked up the first down, then they could call it off with a defensive holding or some sort of defensive play. So why would they just pick up the flag and not mention anything about it?
Well, first of all, for that conspiracy theory, I got to pack a lunch for that one. That one took forever. I feel like they need to get a little bit more concise with this. I've never even heard of something like that. So I feel like this
the
is
flag on the field.
Sure.
The flag was picked up.
I get that.
Why?
I'm not disputing. I don't know.
Exactly.
I don't know. And it's not just because we don't know doesn't make it a conspiracy. Also, why aren't we getting mad at their tight end for not catching that ball? Get mad at him.
That wasn't an easy catch.
I didn't say it was, but like of all the things, it's Occam's razor. It's probably it's a blitz that got there. It's the ball that wasn't caught. I wouldn't worry about the one thing that you guys happen to see. I didn't see a flag.
No, there was a
I know there was a flag. I'm just saying I
know.
just didn't see it.
Right.
And I don't have that mind. Maybe if
So
my
you're turning
team
a
wasn't
blind eye
winning.
to
Yeah,
the
maybe
reality.
I am.
Okay, so this kind of leads into the next question.
Okay.
Why do people hate the Chiefs?
I mean, I've heard of what's it called, like kind of like a fatigue. There's like, you know, because it was like it's what the Patriots had for even longer than the Chiefs have had right now.
Right.
I had Patriots fatigue. I didn't really necessarily buy into all the conspiracy theory. I just thought they were good, but you do kind of start hating who's great, you know?
Yeah.
Like I remember, I think when the Chiefs made it to their first Super Bowl, they were all kind of like run and gun, Patrick Mahomes, 50 touchdowns, Tyreek Hill, long bombs. And then now they're kind of just around. They're kind of slowing the game down, and they're just not as fun to watch, but also no one everyone loves an underdog. Now, there's not really an underdog in this game. Like the Bills are like the underdog.
Well, the Eagles are the underdog. The Chiefs are favored by 1.5 points, 1.5 points.
That's like a pick 'em.
Well, how about we ask our very own Brandon Cristal, who's about to join us right now from Radio Row in the Big Easy. Brandon, how are you, man?
I'm doing great. So I know that obviously you're pulling for the Eagles, Nate and Scott. I'm not sure, but you're also pulling for the Eagles, right?
No, I don't know if you can see me.
You lost the bet.
Definitely not.
You lost that bet.
Yeah, that's right.
So BK, paint the scene for us. Where are you, man? What's going on out there in the Big Easy?
Well, it is really ramped up the excitement for the Super Bowl, but I've been here since Monday, and the sense early in the week was that there is Chiefs fatigue. I think people like new stories. There's nothing new about it. We asked all the Travis Kelce, Taylor Swift questions a year ago, so they were asked again, but there's just nothing. Saquon's really the only new exciting thing, but we saw this matchup 2 years ago, so I think people really wanted to see the Bills here, or maybe Lamar and the Ravens, the Lions, the Vikings. They wanted to see teams we just haven't seen. The Commanders were a fun story, and we saw today where Jaden Daniels is officially the Rookie of the Year, and so don't know if that means Bo Nix will even make it to NFL honors tonight. But early in the week, on top of the Chiefs' fatigue, the NFL got knocked off the pedestal by the Luka Doncic trade. That was far and away the most buzzworthy topic on all of Radio Row. It's now called Media Row because there's so many media companies, and radio is a stalled medium in some respects. But you go walk by every show and they're talking about that trade. You watch the national shows, even Super Bowl week with everybody down here, they've been talking about that trade until it really starts to be like today, maybe late last night, but into today as people started to get to town and more former players and coaches are around and all that, and current players, that the buzz for the game is going to start building, and fans, of course, will descend on the city. Hotel prices go up a little night and then go through the roof tomorrow. So I think that, look, New Orleans is a great Super Bowl city. It's the 11th time they're hosting it. That ties South Florida, and it's going to be a real fun few days here, and hopefully a great game where I think Broncos fans want to see the Eagles win, but I guess Scott would like to see the Chiefs win.
So that's the 11th Super Bowl in New Orleans. How many Super Bowls have you been to, Brandon?
I've been to the week of events. This is the 17th time I've covered Super Bowl week. And if I go to the game on Sunday, that will be my 12th game. Wow. And I always say if. It's like, why wouldn't you go? Well, I have one friend who may have a ticket, another friend who may have or I may get upgraded on my credential. So I think my time here may be cut short in a few minutes for Teddy Bruschi. But for now, I'm going to keep talking to you guys because.
All right, real quick then. We'll try to get these questions in.
Well, you
got to go?
No, I'm good. Okay. Yeah, so
okay.
What else? Yeah, sorry.
So Radio Row is a lot of hustle and bustle. As you say, it starts to pick up towards the end of the week, Brandon. Who are some of the celebrities you're seeing around there? What is some action? Kind of paint the picture for us.
Well, I mentioned Jane Daniels, rookie of the year. Saw him walk in with this Pepsi stuff. As I'm standing, I just happen to be in a corner where players are just kind of coming through one after another because it's kind of the VIP entrance. This is not where our setup is, but I came over here so I could have a little more privacy talking to you guys because regardless. But I saw Drew Brees. I saw Emmitt Smith. I saw you name NFL Hall of Fame types. Your old teammate, Champ Bailey. Cam Jordan's literally riding around on a
pony,
an electric scooter 20 feet from us. So Cam Jordan's here. Sean Peyton was here yesterday. I missed him. He came in, did K Adams, and then ran out to a tea time. There haven't been a lot of non-sports celebrities that I've seen yet. There's been some non-football. There's some UFC folks. Did you see Cam Jordan drive by me? Hey, Cam, go back this way. We'll see if Cam circles back this way or not. Yeah, so it's, it'll start to build and all the big parties and concerts really get going. Chris Stapleton's playing a free show for Sirius XM tonight. And then the Madden party with Jelly Roll, Post Malone, people like that are going to start getting to town. Snoop Dogg, all of those usual suspects. And then, of course, Taylor Swift will be here. You got to think at least by Sunday morning, if not sooner.
Are you going to any of those parties? And are you taking our very own Jason with you and kind of, christening him with what this week is really all about?
We went to a little party last night for an agent friend of mine that he has a party every year. It's kind of low key, but there were former Bronco Brandon McManus was there among others. Lonnie Paxton, a former Bronco. So
B-Mac.
Some other current.
No longer the creepiest kicker in the NFL.
Yeah, and we chatted about that a little, but I'll save some of those details. But he's happy that that's all behind him, and I don't think he's sad that Justin Tucker is now caught on those crosshairs. No. He didn't say that, but it's the sense I got. But so it does just start to pick up. We had the big media party. There's a party tonight we may go to after PS2 wins Walter Payton Man of the Year. He's one of the several people that's supposed to show up at that. So that'll be not Walter Payton Man of the Year. I'm sorry, Defensive Player of the Year. So it should be a good couple of days.
You mentioned Sean Peyton going on K Adams. I mentioned earlier he's got a certain twinkle in his eye for K Adams and the national media that he just doesn't seem to have around here, Brandon. And I don't know how we can change that. But what's your feeling about the way the Broncos are viewed out there from a national perspective, asking people if they're Bo leavers, seeing the way Sean Payton's received? What are the prospects for us Denver Bronco fans going forward?
Yeah, it's certainly trending up with how well they played with the defense. And it is funny because as good as Bo Nix is, football people still be like, oh, and their defense kicked ass with PS2 and Benito and all those guys getting after it. And so real football people also talk about the defense. But Sean Payton is so well respected, not just in this town for what he did here by, respected by Saints fans, but around the league. And we saw that and there's Cam Jordan zipping by again. Former Saint player for Sean, who's still on the Saints. But at the combine, I saw that it's hard to stay employed in the NFL for very long, really we talk about it all the time, Nate, right? For a player, but even for coaches, what Mike Tomlin's doing, what Jeff Fisher did, what Sean did, obviously Belichick's in a whole different stratosphere, what Andy Reid's now done with Philly but to stay at a place for really more than 3 or 4 years, that's saying something. What Mike McCarthy did all those years in Green Bay. It helped having Aaron Rodgers, who's still a pretty crappy coach. But my point is the reverence that people have in the offense that he was able to produce with Drew Brees and cast so many other players. People thought that they'd get it figured out. And now that Bo Nix is in the mix, the perfect quarterback for Sean Payton and his system, along with a really good defense, it is like, okay, no one thinks the Broncos are going to be in the Super Bowl anytime soon. But it doesn't surprise them to see them back in the playoffs and they think with more pieces added to the mix, a Joker type, that they could be in one of these upcoming Super Bowls. Of course, they have to dethrone the team that I can't remember who Scott's cheering for. I feel like if he's still cheering for the Chiefs, then they have to knock those guys off the pedestal.
Yeah, Scott's definitely cheering for the Chiefs today. Sure. He's all in Andy Reid regalia. All right, Brandon. So we're going to let you go. I know you got some stuff to do and people breathing down your neck, but what's on the docket for you for the rest of the day? Who are you going to talk to? What are you going to bring us?
I think I'm going to have a chance to chat with Damani Leach, our, the team president for the Broncos. He's talking about the helmet initiative. I know Champ Bailey is going to stop by and talk with us as well. And then a bunch of other, I think Nick Wright, also another key Kansas City Chiefs native like Scott and a Chiefs apologist. So
More like Nick Wrong, am I right?
yeah, Nick wrong. Well, except about his Chiefs, they've been good. But he was wrong about Joker, and he's come around on that. So maybe I'll ask him a Joker question too. And then there's a bunch more: Marcus Allen, maybe Andre Reed, Steve Atwater, Hall of Famer. Obviously, you see him all the time, work with him. But yeah, it's gonna be a busy. Alex Singleton too. I'm gonna talk to Alex Singleton before he goes over for NFL honors for Walter Payton Man of the Year as the Broncos nominee. I can tell you now, without even seeing it, he will not win, because when you look at who wins Walter Payton Man of the Year, it's always guys with multiple Pro Bowls or, played in the league, like Andrew Whitworth, Pro Bowls, 15 years. Dak won it last year. It's Drew Brees.
Alex was on his way, though. Alex was on his way, wasn't he, before that ACL? I mean, imagine if he would have led that team all year long, maybe led the league in tackles, had a defense that was, it might have been different for Alex.
So,
all right, Brandon, you're in your sweet spot there. Go work your magic, buddy. Have some fun out there, and send us back something good and eat some yummy food.
I will do that. And I think, as the saying goes, Scott, a lot of folks around here, and this hurts me as someone from Dallas, but I guess I'll say go Birds.
All right, BK, go get him, man. There he goes, Brandon Cristal, checking in live from the Big Easy in New Orleans. That's Brandon just mentioned it. 17 of these things he's done, and gone to 11 games. Might be going to the 12th, but nobody knows his way around Radio Row better than Brandon Cristal. Sorry, we had to put you on hold there for a minute, Scott. Our guest of honor. If we did get a comment about you during the little brief interlude with BK, Jacob Schilling says, "My dude, looking goofy with that red on." LOL. Have a good day.
It's more of a cream than more red. There's more white than there is red.
Well, you had a different jacket on before.
I bought it's a double XL. I don't know why I bought a double XL. It literally looks like I peeled it off of Andy Reid.
Yeah.
But then I was just swarmed by it.
Well, let's get back into the Chiefs, okay? A little bit, because Brandon was talking about this Chiefs fatigue.
Yeah.
And how everyone's not super excited about this Super Bowl. Does that make you, as a Chiefs fan, as a long-suffering Chiefs fan?
Yeah.
Why do you laugh? I mean,
because I've forgotten about all that.
Yeah. I mean, there were some bad years.
Yeah,
some real bad years.
We got rid of Rich Gannon for Elvis Gerbach.
Elvis Gerbach, man,
great name though.
Yeah. What was the hardest period of Chiefs fandom in your memory?
I mean, the 2-14 season wasn't great. I mean, everyone.
And what year was that?
Older
2012.
Yeah.
That was the year before Andy Reid arrived.
Yep. That was Javon Belcher year. A lot of bad stuff happened.
Javon Belcher, the linebacker who took his own life at the team facility.
Is 2-14. Javon Belcher thing happened. Didn't know who was going to coach. Romeo Crennel was out the door. Really didn't have. That was the Matt Castle thing. Didn't work out. That was just like a sad year. And everyone, there's older people that will say the Lynn Elliott kick in the early 90s with Montana and stuff like that. But there's like kicks, I should say. But I mean, for me, it was that was just a really bad year.
Joe Montana, the best Chiefs quarterback that's ever been there.
I'll give him second best. Actually, he's not even as good as Trent Green.
Joe?
Yeah, as a Chiefs quarterback now.
Yeah. As an NFL quarterback, I still have him ahead of Patrick Mahomes.
He's got more rings right now.
He's got more rings. If Patrick
wins this one, I know.
If Patrick wins this one, I'll put him ahead of Joe.
Okay.
Right now, you're not ahead of Joe.
Not ahead of Joe.
Because Joe went 4 for 4.
Did he
Patrick Mahomes has lost in the Super Bowl.
He has.
And he's thrown some interceptions. Joe Montana's never thrown a pick in the Super Bowl.
Are you serious?
Swear to God.
That's kind of
11 touchdowns, 0 interceptions, 4 for 4.
It's very impressive. How long? What was the window for his 4? Like 8 years?
It was 81, close. 84, 88, 89.
Yeah. Okay. So it's good to spread it out.
It's pretty freaking good.
It's really good. It's a great career.
Great. And he took over for a really bad team.
Sure.
The 49ers, Bill Walsh went there, similar to the way Andy Reid went there. But Patrick Mahomes had the benefit of allowing Alex Smith and this team to build and get better. And then he showed up and the team was already humming.
Yeah.
Joe Montana didn't have that runway.
No,
he had to go there from the start, and he turned it around quick. That's why I say Joe Montana. Far superior player to Patrick Mahomes. And I don't think it's particularly close at this point.
It has to be close, because you said if he wins one more, he's over Mahomes. He's over
just because of the numbers.
No, okay.
The numbers of rings.
No, he came into a great situation because, like, as a Chiefs fan, I liked Alex Smith. He always had us 11-5 in
Yep.
that era, always in the playoffs. It was just like couldn't get past the Colts or the Steelers. That was just the thing. And so I still like how they talk about how Mahomes and Reed just kind of like really were like, hey, we were lucky to have Alex Smith that 1 year with Mahomes. We got to bench him the entire year. He got to learn from Alex Smith. So I think it's great that they're so complimentary about that situation, because I don't think that's an easy thing to get a brand new toy and just let it sit there for an entire season, basically.
Yeah. But he clearly did learn.
Yeah.
And a lot of times, well, again, Patrick Mahomes was drafted to a good team.
Yeah.
They were already good. They liked him. They traded up to get him, and then they got him.
Yep.
Building for the future. A lot of times if Patrick Mahomes came out of the draft right now, he'd go number 1 overall.
Yeah.
Right. And he'd go to
Panthers or the
Titans.
Titans, yeah.
He'd go to a really bad team.
Bad.
And so it would be harder for
bad
him.
ownership too.
Bad ownership, bad team.
Yeah.
They put it all on you, the quarterback. They
Yeah.
think that you're going to change the fate of this organization. And it doesn't work that way.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of very talented college players, not just quarterbacks, who end up on teams in which they languish and they don't thrive because of the situation.
Sure.
Patrick Mahomes, clearly a very talented player in a perfect situation with the perfect coach.
I agree.
And coaching staff
Yeah.
for him. But it's not all about Patrick Mahomes, is it? I mean, for the Chiefs, they have won 17 consecutive one-score games.
Is that what it is? Yeah.
Yeah, I think. Shouldn't you know that?
No.
Why?
I'm not a stats nerd.
Yeah.
I don't have my own show. I'm not usually looking at a camera. So no, I've heard stats like that, and there's just incredible stats of all throughout. Like Mahomes' record in the playoffs is nuts. It's 17-3.
Is that it?
That it?
He's lost 3 games.
He's
Wow.
yeah, one was, but he's still not even close to Brady's. Brady's playoffs
That's 35
It's
wins.
insane.
Yeah.
It's insane.
Well, you play for till you're 45.
Yeah,
that
true.
stuff's going to happen, and you're on a good enough team. The question is, though.
Oh yeah.
And then this one, it's going to segue. If the Chiefs win this game, there's probably going to be a lot of people within the organization maybe deciding whether or not to move on.
Sure.
Maybe Travis Kelce retires. Maybe proposes to Taylor Swift.
Yeah.
On the, no one wants to see it.
I
No one
want to
wants
see it.
Don't
Taylor,
do it.
you're our queen of the kingdom. Come.
No one cares about that proposal. I would say that. I would say 4% of people watching.
Swifties are coming after you, bro. You're done. You're toast.
Swifties.
You're done.
Come on. Come at me, bro. Okay. Well, I mean, anyone watching here right now want to weigh in? Do you want to see Travis Kelce propose to Taylor Swift on the 50-yard line in New Orleans after the win as the confetti's coming down? Doesn't that seem a little bit hokey? Shouldn't you go and do something private in the Maldives or some stuff?
In the Maldives. They've worked out for that Boise State player. Remember when he beat OU and then proposed to his cheerleader girlfriend? They're still together. Happily ever after. The crowd ate that up.
Yeah.
But now is it Taylor and Travis fatigue now too?
Oh, it absolutely is. Don't you think it is?
I mean, I don't really understand why people even care.
What do you mean? I mean,
well, they show her. I get that they show her on the games, but she's just sitting there watching a game with Caitlin Clark.
Look, nobody cares if Travis proposes to Taylor Swift.
Well, I'm glad that Steve thinks that.
Steve Steele.
Steve Steele.
I think Steve Steele reflects kind of the at-large feeling about this union or this couple. No one gives a crap.
I know, but we're sitting here talking about it, aren't we?
It's going too far.
We're talking about it.
Why are we talking about it? You don't think it's the NFL publicizes it?
Of course they publicize.
Yeah, but that's why we're talking, because they put the camera on her all the time, because they show her walking into the stadium as if it was a fashion show, because they put the cut to her in the suite, because they cut to her down on the field, because they have that's why, Scott, because the NFL is making a concerted effort to make sure Taylor Swift is platformed here. And that
voice, is this Chicago?
Yes.
Are you in the SNL?
Yes,
Yeah.
Well, because you look like
I do look like
you look
Todd.
like Ditka, like the Bears with the
Dub
mustache.
Bears. Do I need to have like a Chris Farley heart attack?
You do.
That makes about a baker's dozen. I'm bad at accents.
That is a really bad impression.
I'm so bad at mimicking.
But you're a funny man.
Yeah, but I don't do voices.
What do you do?
I just do jokes.
Yeah.
I did jokes last
tell
night.
us the joke, funny man.
I don't got no jokes right now.
How did your set go last night?
It went okay. I
Yeah.
had to tell a story. I'm not a great storyteller, but it was a fun show.
Okay.
I had him laughing at Comedy Works last night.
Oh, good.
Yeah.
Comedy Works.
It was great.
Look at this guy.
It's a fun show.
All right.
It's a great room.
Are you like a regular there? Like, can people go check you out there? Like,
I'm not.
How do they know where to see you?
Well, you can go find me online
Yeah.
at www.irrelevantscott.com. And you can find me on all the social medias at irrelevantscott.
Nice.
Yeah.
So I just want to get back to the
Sure.
Travis Kelce Taylor Swift thing a little bit, because it is sort of shoved down our throats.
Sure.
Last year, it was done so as well. Last year, it was like this exciting thing that brought a lot of fans, right? That brought
People didn't know if it's true.
Brought a lot of new fans.
Sure.
The referee thing, the NFL bias thing, could part of it be because they know that the. Why are you laughing?
Because I'm anticipating.
Well, the Swiftie eyeballs are coming to watch football. If they aren't there, then the Swiftie eyeballs aren't either. Do you think that factors into a little bit of the thinking there down in New York with the league office?
Yeah, I'll even say this. As someone who, my trade in life, I'm a graphic designer, so I've worked with nothing but marketing teams. I bet there's an entire section just devoted to Taylor Swift in their marketing team because they just see that their little eyeballs get money, the money signs in it, and it's just one of those things. It's more content, and that's all this world is about anymore is content. And so yes, they are going to milk this for all it's worth, and I'm here for it. Taylor, I love you. I'm wearing your bracelets right now.
Wearing the Taylor
friendship
Swift
bracelets.
All right, well, let me ask you this because you know, the comment I just previously made a couple minutes ago about the potential for dismantling this team.
Oh yeah.
If they three-peat, like what else is there for us to conquer? Travis Kelce's getting old, maybe Andy Reid. Who knows what happens, right? So your preference, would you rather have them win, get the three-peat, and then kind of lose some pieces? It'd probably never be the same again. Maybe Spags takes a head coaching job.
Yeah.
Maybe Travis Kelce leaves.
Yeah.
Maybe even Andy Reid retires.
I know.
Or
they
lose in a heartbreaker, regalvanize, and like, we gotta get back.
Yeah.
We're rededicating ourselves to this. Would you rather have them lose this and keep the band together, or win it and the band breaks up, Scott?
I honestly can say this without hesitation. Win it and deal with the people going wherever they go.
Yeah.
I want the three-peat. I think that's a cool historical fact that that would be theirs and theirs alone. That would be great. But also, I think the Chiefs have been so fortunate by not losing more coaches and players in this whole 7-year run. I mean, yeah, they lost Nagy, but they got him back. They lost Kafka to the Giants, but like Spags hasn't gone anywhere.
We lost Bieniemy,
but like I don't think we.
Turns out he wasn't kind of the.
I think we needed him at the time we needed him, but like it proved to not really lose a step once he left. But it's just one of those things. I think we've been so fortunate that like some of these assistants do deserve other jobs, head coaching jobs and stuff like that. So I'm kind of playing with house money here. So I'll take the win, and wherever people go, because I kind of have this sneaking suspicion that if they win, Kelsey's retiring.
Yeah.
Not that he's proposing on the 50-yard line.
Like the retirement?
No. I think he would probably do it like his brother did it.
You gotta fight for your right
to retire.
Freaking Kelce.
Yeah. So I don't know. I'd say win it and just deal with it, because I think like the GM Brett Veach has proven to be really good at his job, and they say in Spags we trust, in Brett Veach I trust too.
Okay. So if you're looking at the Chiefs' success they've had, who do you attribute it more to? The front office, or Andy Reid, or Patrick Mahomes, or I mean, if you have to, tell me who bears the most credit for this.
I think it starts with Veach and Reid, right? I feel like they were kind of working together, and Veach was it wasn't him who drafted. I think it was John Dorsey who drafted Mahomes, but Veach was a part of that team. And so I think like I'm going to say Veach is 1 and 1A is Reid.
Yeah.
Because without these guys, Travis Kelce was already there. And so I just don't, without them, I just don't think this is happening. Without their good drafts and their good trades, I just don't think it's happening.
They have been excellent.
Yeah.
Developing young talent. And we do focus on Patrick Mahomes,
Taylor's
Travis Kelce. What's that?
Taylor's number 2, obviously.
Taylor, yeah. But they have a lot of very young players who play a lot and are able to kind of. The great thing about what Andy Reid has done there is built a system and a culture where the young players come in and they just follow the leader and they know exactly what to do. And the system is so efficient, and they're so smart, and they're so good at football and winning in these moments. Talk about the 17 one-score games. Yeah. You do that because you play as a unit and you're a really intelligent football team. And you know where that line is. You know how to toe that line. When it comes to the refs, some of the poop I talk is tongue-in-cheek. Yeah, I got to watch my language on here. We don't want to get flagged by YouTube.
That'd be a conspiracy theory.
Wow.
The YouTube refs. YouTube refs.
Yeah. But when you're that good, how close to the edge you can get.
Yeah.
You know what the rules are. You even know the refs. You know what they like to call and what they don't.
Sure.
It's not a conspiracy.
No.
You know how close you can get to that edge and the other players don't on the other team. And when you get that good as a unit, you never know who's going to make the play to win the game.
Yeah.
You trust everyone to do that. The Chiefs are able to do that. If the Chiefs win this Super Bowl, Scott, who in the Chiefs kingdom will you be most happy for to get that Super Bowl?
Actually, probably Kareem Hunt. We had him in some good years. Huh?
The abuser.
Yeah.
Happy for.
I don't think that's his nickname, but still, I think he's kind of like has his second act is a very good act. You know, it's some gnarly stuff happened.
Yeah.
YouTube.
People do redeem themselves.
Yeah, people do redeem
People
themselves.
can change. Scott.
They can, and I think that'd be a good one for him. And also Charles Omenihu. He didn't get to play last year, and then he tore his ACL.
Omenihu?
So that'd be good.
I'll tell you who I'll be most happy for on the Chiefs. DeAndre Hopkins.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Yeah, he's played along a lot of ball, a lot of really good ball, been on some bad teams, Houston Texans, Arizona Cardinals, finally found his way to the Chiefs. I wouldn't say has been an instrumental part of this team, but he's been someone to contend with.
DeAndre Hopkins. I think he's still put up 100 yards.
Well, so when you're a defense playing against the Chiefs, you got to count for DeAndre Hopkins. You know, every defense coordinator respects him. Anybody working in the NFL has been torched by DeAndre Hopkins at some point, and so they create a game plan to make sure they know where he is, and he's been able to, have some big moments. Not some big numbers, but some big moments for them. But just for him to get to this point, I know there's been some pretty cool interviews with him he's been really this week,
and sincere.
He's going to be wear this fur coat that his dad gave him that he wanted him to wear to his wedding or to his
something
Super
like
Bowl
that.
or something and he's wearing it to the Super Bowl, and so feel pretty good for him.
He has a really heartfelt kind of like. Was it an Instagram post or is it one of his interviews where basically he just talked about being a small town kid coming from nothing and getting to like live his dream of playing in the Super Bowl. And it was really, I just butchered it. Like it was really sincere. It was really heartfelt. And like as a fellow small towner, I root for any kind of small town guy out there.
Your brother works for the Chiefs.
Yep. Well, no, he works for the NBC affiliate,
right,
who is the home of the Chiefs in Kansas City.
And you mentioned, we were talking about this yesterday or the day before, and you mentioned that your brothers, and I imagine this happens to a lot of people who cover the Chiefs, are kind of like, all right, here we go. Like, well, we're going to win again.
He mentioned this last year, which was funny because after they won last year against the 49ers, sorry, Nate.
That was a tough
he realized
game. That
how
was a tough one.
It was just like winning Super Bowls was now just kind of like, oh, it's just what we do. Because after the game, he didn't go last year. And so he figured like after the game, he would do a quick stand-up spot and then he would go out and party with people. No one was out. People had partied themselves out. I was home by 11:30, completely passed out. And so he realized like, yeah, I think this is like kind of just, it's no, people aren't over it. It's just business as usual, which is kind of nuts to say. But yeah, like the Chiefs, if you're work for the Broncos, like, this is the longest season, and so just one of those things where sometimes you just want to be a sports fan, and watch the game, but no, you got to work. But that's his job.
And so what about for you as a Chief, being so close to the team in that way? Are you getting tired of winning, and do you feel bad about it? Like,
no, I get to be a fan. I don't want to be one of these.
Do you care as much as you did, 3 years ago when they were going for their first one?
I think I'm more calm now. Like that, I went to the Super Bowl in Miami against the Niners that first time against Garoppolo.
Oh, wow.
And I was just super nervous for them because like I didn't know if they'd ever get back here. And now you kind of relax a little bit. I'm going to be a nightmare on game day, but that's just being a fan. Like no. So I don't think I care less.
What time will be your first double G&T?
What time's the game? What time's kickoff?
I don't know, 3 probably. Something.
Yeah, I'm gonna start early.
How early?
I mean, like
8 a.m.
Eat something for now. I'd be like
10 or 11.
Yeah, I'll eat some lunch around 11, and then really get
after it.
I'd say I'm not gonna get after it until the game, but like I'll start ramping up. I'll have like a beer or two.
Yeah. Well, the Chiefs are favored.
Yep.
By 1.5 points. Let's talk about the Eagles for a second. Are you at all worried about what the Eagles are going to bring?
Yeah.
Why?
So because I think I'm not one of these guys. I am a fan. I don't watch the all 22. I don't pretend.
So do you really know ball?
No, I don't.
Do you really know ball?
I don't know ball.
You don't know ball.
I like to watch ball. Okay.
Don't you hate the people who talk about knowing ball?
I hate it because
you know ball.
I played college basketball, and I already knew.
I get people, by the way, coming at me saying I don't know ball. Twitter dudes who are like analytics nerds and stuff. Like, you don't know.
I think if you say you don't know ball, you don't know ball.
Right.
because like no one I've ever like looked up to has ever said anything like that.
Exactly.
The guys that they're always the biggest jokes on the court were guys just scream, "Ball don't lie." Like, no, ball lies all the time. Like,
no, does it?
Like just because I foul you or you foul me and I miss a free throw doesn't mean that foul didn't count. That's what that means.
You were kind of a little BS for calling it.
I didn't call it. The refs called it.
Oh, really? Well, then you went.
Yeah, pretty much. But let me flop, okay? But no, it's one of those things like the you don't know ball people just drive me insane.
Yeah,
and because they're on X, they're just trying to.
Well, it's funny because like the epitome of the people who are supposed to know ball are PFF, right? Because they like study it and they don't know what the hell they're talking about.
I don't know how to take those rankings. Should I take them seriously?
No, you shouldn't, because I have a buddy who's a scout for the Steelers. I played with him here. He's been a scout for 16 years. I saw him in the press box during a game, and I was talking to him about PFF. Yeah, and he's like, the teams don't like the team gets data from PFF, but it's not like the grading. You can't. It's like it's just formational stuff. Yeah. Like you can, if you were a player, Scott, I could look up all the plays you've been in and the different formations and the different plays you were involved in, different types of runs, different types of passes. That is what it's good for. Creating a database for every single player, and I can see every play you're involved in and what kind of play it is.
Yeah, that's good.
They do that well.
I like that.
But the grading requires you to know what they were trying to do.
Sure.
And to know what the guy next to him was trying to do and the guy next to him was trying to do.
That's too much.
So there's a ripple effect on every football play where a guy could screw up the job over there and it ripples over to me and I look like I screwed it up because I'm trying to cover for everyone's mistakes. Yeah. And the guy over me makes the play and it looks like I screwed it up. Yeah. And PFF, so my buddy who's the scout told me that PFF came and did a presentation to them and is like, yeah, anyone can do it. We got soccer moms doing analysis. And like, anyone can do this. Yeah. So PFF doesn't know ball. That's what I'm trying to say.
That's what I'm trying to say.
So
what was the question? Sorry.
You don't know ball.
I don't know ball.
But you are worried about the Eagles.
Yes.
Primarily what? Saquon, I imagine?
Saquon and then like Jalen Carter and their defensive line. I think they've proven to be like one of the better defensive lines in the league. Yeah. And so, I just Jalen Carter's a beast. He's always been a beast, even in college. Saquon's, I just don't understand how they let him out of the building in New York. I just don't get how you chose Danny Dimes over Saquon, Saquad or whatever they call him. Like, Quadzilla. But it's one of those things. Him, I'm worried about, but also I'm worried about Jalen. Jalen Hurts had a killer game last year. 2 years ago, just had a bad fumble. Yeah. And so like they have so many weapons. AJ Brown. I have AJ Brown fatigue. I'll say it.
Do you?
I do. Reading the book and being a diva. You wide receivers.
Wait, but you don't have Taylor Swift, Travis Kelce fatigue? But
I can choose my fatigue. I can choose my fatigue. Okay.
Fatigue?
Yeah.
He wasn't like calling attention to himself reading the book. Apparently, he read the book a lot.
By the way, he got that author so many sales.
I know. I'll give like 4,000%.
That's insane.
And it was like a self-help book. Like, how to harness your inner dragon.
I just feel like he's been like the one thing about the Eagles that has been kind of a I don't know, drama queen.
Well, he got signed to an enormous contract, and they won't throw him the freaking ball.
Well, that's not my problem. I hope they don't throw him the ball.
Well, the stuff you mentioned about Saquon. Yeah. Might make AJ Brown have a big day because you can't stop them all, right? Yeah, and they're gonna load up the box like you do every Friday night.
Right. See, we didn't curse. We insinuated.
They're gonna load up the box and try to stop Saquon. Yeah, and that's gonna create some opportunities over the top. And it's not just AJ Brown; it's Devontae Smith, right? Yeah. Dallas Goedert. Mm-hmm. Goddard. So they have their hands full. Yeah. All right. So before we get out of here, and I thank you for joining us today, Chiefs fan.
Happy to be here.
Chiefs fan, Scott. Are there a lot of Chiefs fans in Denver?
I mean, there's one producing the show right now.
No, I know. Hey, Andy. I know. And she does great work despite her affiliation.
I think there's more. I'd say there's more Philly fans here than there are.
Is that right?
There's a couple bars here that have there's 2 bars here that have watch parties. There's only one for the Chiefs, and I've met so many Philly fans here.
Okay,
yeah. So I think there's a good because it's only 8 hours away, so there's probably a good,
Philly
cluster. No, sorry, I'm going back to Kansas City. Yeah. Kansas City is only 8 hours away from here, so I'm sure there's a good cluster of people who are.
Well, a lot of folks like yourself moved to the big city.
That's right.
To make it.
That's right. We gotta go somewhere.
Yeah, that's right.
Stick to
so where are you gonna watch the game?
So we're either going to a bar or we're going to go to basically to a house party.
Okay.
That's my kind of plan because we were as a Chiefs fan, I was getting chirped at pretty big time during the Bills game.
Oh, you were?
Yeah.
You were at the bar?
We were at a bar, yeah.
And some Bills fans or just people?
No, the Bills fans were fine. The Bills fans were just nervous like we were.
Yeah.
It was like Eagles fans that were left over from the game before.
Oh, right.
And there was 2 guys. One was in a Bo Nix jersey. One was in a Cortland Sutton jersey, just hammering us.
Oh, wow.
And then, of course, once Josh Allen doesn't complete that 4th down pass, guess who got their tab real quick and just left?
Oh, right. What were you gonna like?
No, I'm not a fighter. But I had to chirp back,
Yeah.
And so it's one of those things.
Man.
I'm not a fighter yet until someone just clocks me.
Yeah. And then you'll show them.
Yeah, I'll show them.
All right. So before we get out of here, give me your prediction. I want to know who's going to win and what's going to be the score, and who's going to. Well, give me an anytime touchdown. For both teams.
I'll start with anytime touchdown. I don't want to go simple with. I'm telling you, this will be good odds. Noah Gray.
Okay.
Noah Gray.
Wow. He
had that cluster in the. He had, I think, 4 touchdowns in 2 games.
Is he the successor to Travis Kelce?
Him or the guy we got from TCU.
Okay.
But he's hurt.
Okay.
Wiley.
Yeah.
But like they rave about Noah Gray, and they just signed him, so I think they like him. So I would say yes.
Okay.
He's not Travis Kelce, but I think he can do a lot of great things. Him and
he's
Wiley
a very
together.
athletic dude.
He's so good.
Yeah.
And so I think he's going to have anytime touchdown.
Okay.
The odds on that have to be high.
Yeah.
So I would do that one, but also I'm romanticizing this completely. I think this is Spag's masterpiece.
Shutout.
I'm going. No, I'm not. I'm going close.
No touchdowns.
I'm 17-10 Chiefs.
Okay.
I think.
What a boring Super Bowl. 17-10.
I don't care if
Let's
it's
score some
boring.
freaking
I
points.
want the win.
7-3.
Yeah. So I think this is gonna be Spags'
3-2.
Beethoven's 6th Symphony, whatever. I don't know culture stuff, but
yeah.
I think this is gonna be his
Beethoven's 6th.
I think this is gonna be.
Everyone knows Beethoven's 6th.
I think this is gonna be low scoring game.
Yeah.
Don't ask me why. I just get the feeling. The Chiefs don't really put up a lot of points.
A lot of times Super Bowls are a little tight anyway.
Yeah, sure.
Nobody's like, because they have the 2 weeks off.
Except for the Niners Broncos back in the day.
55-10. Yeah, that was a big one.
But I can't say much.
Actually, the Niners
Brady
also beat the Chargers 48 to something.
The Buccaneers put it to the Chiefs 34-9, I think.
Steve Young threw 6 touchdowns in the Super Bowl in 1994.
The Chargers one?
Yeah. 6 touchdowns still has not been broken.
That's so many scores.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm gonna say 17-10 Chiefs.
Okay. And how about a couple of the prop bets fun ones? Gatorade color. You got a Gatorade color, and then the over under on the national anthem.
National anthem. I always do. I always go over. They always put it at like 245, 240-ish. Or maybe 340.
Around 2 minutes.
2 minutes, okay, whatever it is. And it always goes a little bit over because I think people are out there to perform.
Right.
We're not just trying to start this game. They're showing off out there. And so I think that puts it on the over for that. I don't know if there's a prop bet for Travis Kelce to propose after the game, but I would put $5 on that.
Do you think he'll
what
do
are
it?
some other prop
Do
bets?
you think he'll do it if they win?
No.
Yeah.
No,
I hope not, man.
I don't think so. I think they get
Their
enough
whole life
attention.
is on camera and around. Why would you make it a private moment?
I even think if he retires, he would do it like his brother did, have a press conference and just sob.
Or what if they just won and then he just
pulls off his pads too.
He pulls off his pads. He's got a tux on under it. She walks out of the tunnel in a dress and they get married.
What if it's a tuxedo T-shirt? It's like sweated through. I think that'd be great.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, you were.
Oh yeah. So what other kind of prop bets are out there?
Gatorade color.
So, but am I going on preference of what I like? I'm going. Lemon lime, so green.
That's your favorite?
That's one of my favorite. Light blue is my favorite.
Light blue.
What
is that?
Dark blue. I don't know.
Glacier Freeze?
I think so. Yeah.
Or
Frost.
Riptide Rush.
No. Yeah.
Oh yeah. Frost.
I don't know the names. If
Wouldn't
you know the names of Gatorade flavored, you're a cop. You're
Wouldn't it be fun to be like the Gatorade flavor namer?
Yeah.
Well,
ooh. Okay.
Like Mountain Wind.
Mountain Wind is great. So I would try and make it something like
Tornado Torch or something. No, that's not right.
Tornado Torch ain't bad. I mean,
anybody got any Gatorade? New Gatorade flavors out there? Please hit us up. So you go lemon lime.
I think I'm gonna go green, but also it's either a blue or a green. I think, but I'm gonna go with green. I feel like that would be this year's. First of all, if you drink red Gatorade, get out of my life.
Why?
I don't like the fruit punch.
Get out of your life.
Get out of my life.
Even though you freaking wear red.
I don't look great in red. Sometimes, when the Chiefs wear what color are the Chiefs wearing? They were wearing white.
I don't know.
I think they're wearing white. I'm just happy they're not wearing the all reds The pants red helmet, the red top, because they look like a box of McDonald's fries, and I hate it. I don't like it. So I'm glad that they're going to be the nice bright white.
I've got a comment on the national anthem.
Yeah.
So it's being sung by like a local gospel singer or something like that. I think that means to me that he's going to go under because he's not going to make it about himself.
Sure. I should have asked you that.
Also, there's the musical accompaniment. If you have musical accompaniment, you have to stay on time.
Sure.
And you can't just do these long runs.
Like a acapella thing. Yeah.
See, can you see?
That's actually pretty good.
Yeah,
that's like Christina Aguilera. She would do that.
What's up?
Then she pops into one of her own songs, like "Gonna Make It Dirty." Yeah.
At the twilight. See, then it could go into like, but if you got music behind you, you got to stay on pace.
I get that.
Okay?
No, I'll have to look more into the because even if it just needs to be 1 second over,
Yeah.
And they don't care. They're not looking at that thing.
What if it's on the dot? It's a push.
That'd be wild.
Yeah.
What the 0.17 though, or
if there's controversy on the time.
Like go to New York. They're like, no, it's the prop bet. We don't give a damn about this.
All right, before we get you out of here, Super Bowl.
Wait.
Yeah.
What's your prediction?
Yeah. Man, I mean, I think the Chiefs are going to win.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's going to be higher scoring than you thought.
Yeah.
I think it's going to be a one-score game. I think it's going to be 26-24.
Yeah. I mean, that's what most of the Chiefs games are.
Yeah.
Nowadays.
They find a way to do it.
Yeah.
Who
do you have an anytime touchdown?
Fly, Eagles, fly. I mean, if the Eagles win, I wouldn't be
I wouldn't be. Did you see the Philly Mayor?
Mad. No.
Oh, the Philly Mayor tried to do the EAGLES chant.
EGLEA.
EGLSES.
Eagles.
Yeah.
Go Eagles.
Yeah.
Super Bowl foods. What's your favorite Super Bowl food situation?
We were talking about this. I eat like a 9-year-old, so I need some chicken tenders. I need some chicken wings, but also I'll throw in a crock pot of little Smokies.
Okay.
I like the finger foods.
Yeah.
I don't need a big.
I came over to your house one time. You made those.
Yeah, that was a loss too.
Yeah, that was a tough one.
And honestly, I'm usually the only one who eats them because most people are adults and they have a better palate than I do.
Yeah,
but that's fine with me.
That was that loss to the Bengals. Huh?
That was.
Ooh,
you looked at me at halftime. You're like, you guys can lose this game. I'm like, shut up. They've done it before, but shut up.
Yeah. Well, that's long history.
Yeah. What is your kind of a go-to Super Bowl snack?
Yeah, go-to Super Bowl snacks. You got to have this like chip and dip, 7-layer dip, something like that. I like the little meatballs in the thing.
Oh yeah.
I'm a little meatball guy.
Just a real big meatball guy, aren't you?
Hot dogs. I'm like a hot dog guy.
Hot dog.
You gotta have some beer.
Yeah, gotta have beers.
Maybe some other party, sort of enhancers that are going around.
The fireball gets pushed around for some scores.
Yeah. Yep. Or stuff that you ingest in a different manner.
Okay.
And then for sweet stuff like just some cookies or something.
Yeah, you need the sweets.
Yeah, but I know like
pizza's always a go-to.
Pizza, if that's part of the larger spread. If it's just pizzas, like anyone can do that.
Anyone can
order some pizzas.
Also, I'll whip up some I'll warm up some Totino's pizza rolls.
Oh,
love me some pizza rolls.
Yeah,
probably some pizza bagels too. I'm telling you, I'm 8.
Okay. I know what to get you for your birthday. Paw Patrol figures.
Oh my god!
And
I love it.
And gift certificate to Chuck E. Cheese.
I've never been there.
You haven't?
I've never been to Chuck E. Cheese.
Wow.
We're really deviating from the conversation.
You're missing out. All right, man. Hey, well, Chiefs fan, thank you for joining me.
Thanks for having me.
Good luck to you in the big game.
Thank you.
We will not be pulling for you.
Yeah. Where are you watching it at? With us? With me?
Maybe. Probably not, though. Probably like, family.
You got the kids and
things,
stuff. Yeah.
But if I can get away from those little, whats, I'll come join you.
That's right. I'll let you know.
So, hey, enjoy this while it lasts because the Broncos are coming for you.
I get it.
All right. Sean Peyton said as much when they lost to the Bills. He said, we liked the next matchup.
Sure.
Meaning you guys.
That's right.
All right. So enjoy it while it lasts, Scott Schaefer.
I will.
And thank you for joining us.
Thanks
Good
for
luck
having me.
on the big game. I'm Nate Jackson. He's Scott Schaefer. Liv Moves, Brandon Cristal. They're in New Orleans covering this big game. And we're going to check back in with them next week. Look for some good stuff from Brandon as he walks around Radio Row and interviews all the celebrities he can find in the way that only Brandon Cristal can. I'm Nate Jackson. Scott Schaefer. This has been Off Field Guerrilla Sports. See you guys next time. Go Eagles.
Go Eagles.